Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will enter the world crafted in Brisingr by Christopher Paolini. Brisingr by Christopher Paolini, published in 2008, is the third installment of the inheritance cycle. This epic fantasy follows the journey of Eragon, a young dragon rider, and his dragon Saphira as they confront political intrigue, personal revelations, and the looming threat of King Galbatorix's tyranny. The book explores themes of identity, loyalty, and sacrifice in a richly detailed world. Plot summary. Eragon crouched at the base of Helgrind, the jagged black peak that loomed over the city of Dros Leona like a dark omen. Beside him, his cousin Roran seethed with barely contained fury, his heart set on rescuing Katrina, his betrothed, from the clutches of the Razak. Bound by duty and love, Eragon and Roran had ventured deep into enemy territory, guided by the faint pulse of Katrina's life force sensed through Eragon's magic. Helgrind promised horrors within, but neither could turn back. Under the shadow of night, Eragon and Roran infiltrated the mountain's grim depths. There, they confronted the monstrous Razak and their formidable steeds, the Leatherblocka, whose piercing shrieks threatened to unravel their courage. In a brutal clash of steel, magic, and determination, the cousins overcame their foes. Eragon's spells held back the creature's venomous advances, while Roran's relentless strength shattered their defenses. Katrina was found, frail but alive, her hope rekindled by their arrival. They also discovered Sloane, her father, a broken man who had betrayed his own kin. Though Roran despised him, Eragon chose mercy, vowing to lead Sloane to redemption rather than vengeance. Leaving Helgrind behind, Eragon bid farewell to Roran and Katrina, who journeyed back to the Varden. Meanwhile, Eragon set out on a perilous path of his own. He returned to the land of the dwarves to secure their allegiance in the rebellion against King Galbatorix. Amid the subterranean halls of Farthendur, he navigated the intricacies of dwarven politics, standing as a steadfast ally to Auric, who sought to claim the throne after the death of King Hrothgar. Assassins struck in the dead of night, their blades seeking to sever the fragile unity of the clans. Yet, with Saphira's fiery might and Eragon's cunning, the treachery was exposed, and Auric ascended as the new king, pledging the dwarves' unwavering support to the Varden. With his bond to the dwarves secured, Eragon turned his gaze northward to Elismira, the elven capital hidden deep within the ancient forest of Du Weldon Varden. There, he sought further guidance from Oramus and Glader, the last surviving rider and dragon bound in the sacred struggle against Galbatorix. Oramus imparted hard truths about the ancient language, revealing the very essence of magic and its limitations. Eragon learned that his true father was not Brahm, the rider he had idolized, but Morzen, the traitorous forsworn who had served Galbatorix. The revelation shook him to his core, a cruel twist of fate that tied him closer to his enemy, Murdog, who shared the same lineage. In Elismira, Saphira performed a rare and sacred act, repairing the great star sapphire destroyed in Farthendur's battle. The elves hailed her as a hero, their reverence filling her with pride and purpose. Yet Eragon's training was cut short by the drums of war. Messages from Nasuada summoned him back to the Varden, who prepared for a decisive confrontation with the Empire. As Eragon returned, he found the Varden embroiled in political and military turmoil. Nasuada's leadership faced challenges from within, but her resolve and strategic brilliance rallied the rebels. She initiated the dangerous trial of the Long Knives, a barbaric tradition meant to solidify her authority among the nomadic tribes allied with the Varden. The wounds she endured during the trial only deepened her followers' loyalty. The Varden marched to Seda, where they clashed with Galbatorix's forces in a sprawling battle on the Burning Plains. The sky was painted with fire and blood as the armies met in a ferocious struggle. Among the chaos, a new threat emerged: Murdog, mounted on his red dragon, Thorn. Empowered by Galbatorix's dark magic, Murdog wielded terrifying strength, easily matching Eragon and Saphira in combat. The duel between brothers was fierce and unrelenting, their blades and dragons tearing through the battlefield like living storms. Though Eragon fought valiantly, Murtog revealed a devastating truth. Their shared mother, Selena, had also borne Murtog, making them brothers. Stricken by the weight of this revelation, Eragon struggled to find an opening against his foe. Murtog, bound by oaths to Galbatorix, was unable to strike a killing blow and ultimately spared Eragon's life, taking instead Zarok, the crimson blade that had once belonged to their father. The betrayal stung, but Eragon vowed to overcome the darkness that plagued their family. Amid the chaos, Roran demonstrated his might as a leader and warrior, earning the respect of the Varden. His hammer fell with unrelenting force, breaking the ranks of Imperial soldiers. Together, he and Eragon forged a bond strengthened by shared trials, their unity a beacon of hope amid despair. Eragon's journey did not end with the battle. As the Varden regrouped, he received a final lesson from Oramus and Glader, who revealed the ancient secret of Galbatorix's power. The tyrant had amassed a vast reservoir of Eldunari, the hearts of dragons, which granted him unparalleled strength. This knowledge became a turning point, offering a glimmer of hope in the seemingly insurmountable fight ahead. Eragon returned to the Varden with this revelation, his resolve hardened by the trials he had faced. With Saphira at his side, he prepared to confront Galbatorix and his dark empire, knowing that the battle for Alagazia's future would demand every ounce of strength, courage, and sacrifice he could muster. That's it for today, but if you're craving more, dive into the rest of the Inheritance Cycle series by Christopher Paolini. The details are in the description, or just search on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Christopher Paolini's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.